Good afternoon, everyone. I am pleased to be here today to present on the topic urban and rural dynamic with a special focus on the subtopic rural depopulation. So before I begin, let me introduce you all to our group members. Miss Afia Henry, Miss Elizabeth Narain, Miss Janasha Whitaker, Miss Bethel Abrams, myself, and Miss Taisha Sintil. So our presentation will explore today on what rural depopulation means, the major cause behind it, and its effect on community and national development. We will also look at how migration from rural to urban area impact both regions, and we'll also discuss possible solutions to reduce these growing issues. I hope that by the end of our presentation, we will all gain a better understanding of how rural depopulation affects our society and why addressing it is so important for balanced development. So thank you all for listening to my introduction, and now let's dive deeper into the topic. Let's begin. I know that by this moment, you all might be thinking what exactly is rural depopulation. Not to worry, I have a short definition here for you. So, rural depopulation refers to a situation when the number of people living in the countryside decline the major factors, mostly being the movement of people to towns and cities looking for a better job, education, and service. So now we're going to talk a little. So now we are going to talk a little about how it's observed or measured. So, rural depopulation can be measured in several ways. The first point we have is a census and household survey. So, this survey shows how many people lives in each area, their age, and it also helps us see changes in population. Then we have the net migration. So the net migration rate measure how many people move in or out of the area. So if more people leave, the population decrease. We can also look at population change by region or village to find which places are growing or shrinking. Then we have democrat structure or indicators. So such as a higher average age, fewer young people are more dependent, also show depopulation in additional service. In addition, then we have the service use and proxy data. So this service use data like lower school enrollment, fewer clinic visit, and business closure can signal that fewer people living in the area. These methods are commonly used in Guyana census and planning reports to understand how population are changing across the country. Then we have the main push and pull factors. So there are several reasons why people leave rural area, known as push factors. Many move away because there are fewer job opportunity and the income from farming or seasonal work is often low and unstable. So some might also leave due to poor access to service such as healthcare, higher education, electricity and also internet. Then we can also find others might find life in the rural area hard because of isolation and higher transportation costs when traveling to market or hospital. Then we have the environmental pressure or the environmental problem like flooding, soil loss, and climate change. This also make it difficult to live and work in these areas. Then we have a lack of future for youth. So young people often leave because they see fear opportunity or role model for their future. Then we have the governance and we have the government and tenure insecurity for smallholders. So a land and governance issue can cause small farmers or indigenous people to move when they feel insecure about their lands or rights. So now the pull factors. People are drawn to towns, city, and even overseas for many reasons, and we would mostly call these the pull factors. City offer better job opportunity with higher and more stable wages in area like construction service, um, oil related work. They also provide better education and health service, including secondary school, technical 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 college and hospital. Many people move because they have friends or family in the city who can help them find housing or jobs. So others are attracted by the modern lifestyle mainly, and then we might have access to internet, entertainment, and shopping. So in Guyana, these same factors can be seen as people leave the hinterland and rural costs for urban access or overseas in search of better living condition and opportunity. Now we're going to look at some of the consequences, the family life, education, and local economic. So rural depopulation has several effects on families and community life. When working age adults, especially men and young people, move away, they often leave behind children, elderly family member, or a single caregiver. So this will increase the burden on those who stay and change how family makes decisions. Fewer people remain, community life weaken, culture event, tradition, and local groups starts to fade. Now, in many cases, we might find women are mostly affected. So they would take on more work at home and on the farm, which can be challenging, but it can also give them more responsibility and independence in their family and community. So we're going to look at the educational part. So when fewer children live in rural area, school enrollment drop. We have small schools may also close, and because there is limited access to higher education, many family must send their children away due to this reason or to stop their children education altogether. Now we're going to look at the local economics. So rural depopulation weaken local economics because there are fewer workers for farm and small businesses, and remaining labor force is often older. So as the population shrink, local shops and service might close. We have young entrepreneurs, they might also leave, and the local governments may also struggle to maintain the infrastructure. So creating a cycle of economic might also declines. Now we're going to look at some of the example in Guyana. So in Guyana, the hilly and forestry region like Barama Waini, Coroni Muzuruni, Potaro Siperuni, and Upper Takatu, Upper Essequibo may also face high poverty limit. So service and difficult living conditions. So these might also be challenging combined with population pressure that may have lead many people to move away from these areas due to these reasons. So now let us look at some of the solutions. So solutions to rural depopulation includes creating more local jobs opportunity, such as investing in farming, agro-processing, and regulate mining. So this will assist to keep people employed, improving their service. Then we can also provide more digital access, transportation, and infrastructure, along with empowering community through planning can help people stay in rural area while supporting their needs and rights. So now we have our visual support image. So we have Guyana's population 2025, hinterland versus coastal, and then we have other. So hinterland percentage, and then we have Guyana's population by the administrative region 2012 census. And now we're going to look at our conclusion. So rural depopulation in Guyana happens when people, especially young adults, leave the countryside due to limited job, poor service, and weak infrastructure, which affects family, school community, and local economic. Now, to address this, the government can improve infrastructure, digital access, education, and job opportunity, helping rural areas stay vibrant, inclusive, and economically strong.